Hello, ladies and gents. Romie Reviews here. Please like, comment, subscribe. Oh, man. Oh, Pokemon Let's Go for the Nintendo Switch. What a nice time. Anyway. This is Married to Medicine, Season 6, Episode 12, Heavenly's Second Chance. Now, the episode starts off with a continuation, like it usually does. But this time, it's Dr. Simone versus Dr. Contessa. Dr. Simone feels a certain way for many reasons, but the main one this time has to do with the fact that she feels like Dr. Contessa, she keeps using her surgery as an excuse to not be around the ladies, specifically, I shouldn't say the ladies, to be around one woman, Toya. Now, I don't believe that's the case. I do believe that Dr. Contessa was probably having a hard time readjusting after the surgery, and so she didn't want to leave her house. That's fair enough. But Dr. Simone feels like, even though that's part of the truth, that's not Contessa's whole truth. The issue with all of this is when you're trying to tell someone else what their truth is. That's when things take a big turn. And that's what was happening on that boat. Because they were in each other's face. And when I say in each other's face, they're sitting right next to each other, sitting right in front of each other. And then Dr. Simone starts to do this. I said, Dr. Simone, that's not cute. For someone who says she can't fight, she loves to go and do this and get in people's face. Dr. Contessa just had that look of, okay, what is going on here? And she was even saying that in the confessional, because then Dr. Scott, he didn't come at Dr. Simone. He just came in the area she was in and was just saying, look, I understand you may feel a certain way, but I promise you it's not what you think. And she got upset because she was like, look, I understand what, you defend your life and I respect that, but I need for you to bleep, bleep, bleep. I said, oh no, this is not going well. So that's when Quad goes and jumps. I said, Quad, Quad, what are you doing? This isn't the Olympics. She jumps right over there. And a couple of the other guys get over there as well. And now we see in everyone's confessional, the guys, the husbands, all saying, Dr. Scott is new. He doesn't really understand the dynamics of the group with the women. Now, yes, is some of the stuff really petty, and do the guys handle it differently than the women do? Yes. But one thing the guys don't do and shouldn't do is get in between the women arguing. Because that's when things take a complete left. So I'm glad everyone's like, oh, we'll take charge of this. Let the ladies, regroup, collect themselves. Dr. Jackie went over to Dr. Contessa and was just saying, Simone's delivery is not right. But I promise you, she's not trying to down you as a person, belittle you, make you feel bad, even though that's exactly how it may sound. So then Dr. Simone, she came over and she talked about how she really didn't mean... Dr. Contessa doesn't like being called a victim because she's like, she's not a victim. She had a surgery, and then she was recovering. That's beginning, middle, end of the story and situation. Making it seem like anything else and making it seem like she was trying to make it seem like anything else she doesn't appreciate. So they have a kumbaya moment once it was realized that Lord Simone drank the rum punch, didn't she? And of course, none of us liked how it initially happened, but they all came down. They all calmed down. So now they have food in them, and now Mariah and Aiden, they want to make an announcement to everyone. Mariah is the one who's really doing the talking, and she apologized to Dr. Darren. She apologized to him because she was like, you didn't do anything to me. You've never said anything about me, about my family. And I was having an issue with your wife. And I should have never brought you into it because there was no reason to. And I really am sorry. And I said, look at this little apology from Mariah. And everyone just had this look of, oh, this is happening right now? Oh, okay. And he said, I wholeheartedly accept your apology and appreciate your apology. And I'm the type of person where if I say that and I say that there's no bad blood afterwards, I mean it. And they even had a hug and all of that. And so then Dr. Heavenly came in and said, you know what, Mariah, I received that as well. And I accept, your apology. I said, wait, what? The who, what, where, when, what? I mean, okay, if that's what it takes for you to move on from this whole mama thing with Mariah, then fine. Then fine. I'm okay. Then they have I won't call it a Soul Train line, but then they start dancing and just having a good time. Like, that's what we mainly want from them. So I'm glad that it ended on a high note, but everyone agrees they're not doing boat rides anymore. Every time there's a boat ride, they have this big argument because they're drinking. It's usually hot. It's like right after something big happened, or maybe nothing big has happened recently. So now everyone's together, including the husband. It's just weird. I don't know if people have batteries in their back because their significant others are there, because sometimes that is the case. Now everyone is getting ready for dinner. They're in the car. They're usually safe in the car. Well, they're in a bus, but you know what I mean. Toya is telling everyone we're going to eat, have a nice time, and then do a marriage therapy. Everyone had that look of, oh God, why? Why? Oh, anyway. Toya, we see in the earlier clip that Toya asks Dr. Heavenly to go and redo her couples therapy session tonight with everyone. I'm thinking, huh? What? Because Toya felt like she understands now that it takes a lot to go and get a bunch of people together who may or may not like each other and have them talk about their personal lives and it go over well. So they're just trying to have a nice dinner. Dr. Heavenly sneaks out for a while. Everyone's wondering where she went. They even made a joke about biscuits because remember, Toya with the whole, if you want to talk, take a biscuit. And Toya's still trying to tell us, look, she's taken I guess Toya for a long time, or possibly never, I don't know, took birth control, and so now it's causing her to be out of whack. I do believe that it can have an effect. I do believe that. But let's be very clear, that wasn't the only reason. That's why it was so funny. It's like we're blaming all this on the birth control. Are we? All of it? Anywho. Everyone gets nervous because Dr. Simone said, where is the rum punch? I don't taste the alcohol. Where is... I said, oh no. No. Please, God, no. Don't give it to her. No. No. So now it's been a little while, and Toya says, let's go down to the beach, because that's where Dr. Heavenly is. And the setup was reminiscent to how Dr. Heavenly had it set up last year. So now everyone's looking like, what's going on? Why is she standing there? Why is it looking like this? What's about to happen? And that's when it's announced that Dr. Heavenly is going to take charge in this couple therapy. Everyone had that look of, oh God. But it's a flip. Because this time, they get to ask her about her marriage and her relationship. Because remember, she talked about how she doesn't need therapy. Everything is perfect in her marriage and her relationship. She's just trying to help everyone else out. And so that's really nice. It's a good flip on things. It made people more comfortable and interested and open to going and being a part of this, because their life isn't on the stand. But Dr. Heavenly wants to do this alone. She doesn't want Damon to come in. I said, why not? He's going to give us the real. Dr. Damon's going to give us the real. You're going to give us the filters. The only time Dr. Heavenly is filtered is when she's talking about her relationship and her marriage. I respect it, but you always have to side eye. Like, so you're coming at us with the heat. But when it's about you, it's smart to not give people information about you. But still, you can't expect the same from others. Dr. Jackie's question was essentially who's really running things in their relationship. Is it 50-50? Is Dr. Damon the one? in charge at home? Is it Dr. Heavenly? What's the real? So Dr. Heavenly says she respects her husband and she feels like it really is 50-50. But I said, Dr. Damon, he's a really good guy, but in order to be with a strong personality like Dr. Heavenly, you can't be a pushover. You can't. So I'm sure probably in his way, he's probably not forceful with it, but I'm sure his will is very imposed in that relationship, which is why it probably works. If she was a pushover, that relationship will have been done in 2 seconds. The next question, I think, has to do with Dr. Simone. Yeah, it had to do with Dr. Simone, and she was at, and Dr. Simone wanted to know how does the parenting in the household work? If there's a disagreement of how to handle disciplining the kids, raising the kids. And so Dr. Heavenly, she started to cry because she was like, she feels like her husband's a better parent than she is. She feels like her husband has a better, closer relationship with the kids and is more hands-on with them. And Dr. Damon, he was shaking his head the whole time because she was like, look, we handle things differently, but it's not that she isn't a great mother, because she is a great mother. We just have to, we parent and handle a different part of our kids' lives, but I don't want her to ever think that, oh, it's just me and they turned out good because of me, because they have 2 parents. So that's not the case. I said, oh, dang you, Dr. Damon. Such a good guy. Mariah, she jumped up there like, I'm next. And then she said, nope, I'm not doing all that. Nope. Then here comes Quad saying, let's just do some math. How old is your oldest son? 20. How long have you been married? 20 years. And remember, in the reunion, it came out that, oh, she trapped Damon, as far as, oops, they're pregnant, so oops, they had to get married. And Dr. Heavenly said, yeah, she loves her husband. She feels like they have a good relationship. But yeah, she did trap him. And again, he was upset. And that's when he was like, no. I love my wife. I met my wife and I knew she was going to be my wife. So I don't want anyone to...
Remember to like this video, leave a comment, and subscribe and come back.
Think otherwise. Okay, she was pregnant. She was already pregnant when we were married. Whoop-de-whoop-wop. My kids, I love all of them. I love all of them equally. There was no oops. There was no, well, the kid's coming, so we have to go and do it the proper way. No. And I said, oh, dang you, Dr. Damon, you did it again. You did it again. Stop it. Like Dr. Heavenly. I'm like, that's why Dr. Heavenly swoons over her man. But it went well. Everyone was happy and receptive to the fact that Dr. Heavenly put her business out there. She put her business out there, and cool. Great. Now we get to the next day. Again, talking about that Toya and that bang. And that darn birth control. It was so funny. I remember like a year or so ago, one of my viewers said, are you from the South? I said, the South of where? South of where? South Jersey? Because even then, doesn't know. New York? Anyway. Today's a free clinic day. And it was nice. They had the setup. They had a bunch of people come through. The only thing I always feel a certain way about is I wish we would see more guys show up to something like this, because we know how guys normally don't. It's either a guy's a hypochondriac with their health, or they think they're Superman and everything is okay. And you can take over the counter medicine to fix everything. But anyway, a couple of people had some minor health complications, but there was this one woman who had her blood pressure was borderline. I guess she could have a heart attack because she even had pain in her chest and everything. And so then she started to cry. It was Dr. Eugene's patient. So then he sat with her. Apparently she does take blood pressure medication. Well, she's supposed to, but she hasn't been. So her body isn't regulated. And with her doing the physical activity, because she's a at-home aide, and her client was actually there too. And so then they had, what was it? They had Curtis and Quad take the client home. And I'm glad that, because originally Curtis was like, oh, I'll do it. I said, okay, that's cute, but you need a woman there as well? And the cameras? Just to make sure. Because, look, Curtis is not the issue. That woman who needed assistance wasn't the issue. It's just optics. Nowadays, everyone has to cover themselves. Now, but Eugene, I like that they did the whole thing of, I think Toya or one of the doctors may have said, why don't we check his blood pressure? Because his was horrible last year and his was really good. So it's just showing her this is within a year. You go and you put in some effort, you can be okay too. It's okay. Don't be afraid. This is just a moment. And I'm glad that they walked her through that, because I'm sure that helped someone. I'm sure that probably helped a lot of people. But I'm glad they also mentioned one person's blood pressure was a little high, but one of the other doctors said, maybe it was Dr. Contessa said, a lot of patients, their blood pressure spikes with the physical blood pressure, thing around your arm. And I'm one of those people, because I already have anxiety. Sometimes it's really bad. You put that pressure thing on me and my mind goes, and I can't calm down until it. They usually have to take mine twice because it's such a big difference. Now, tonight is another dinner. I think tonight's the last night there. We do see that Dr. Eugene has to use his, steady hands to put on Toya's lashes, which was cute. It was cute. Looks like, I said, look at Cecil being all dressed and dapper. Even Dr. Contessa in her confessional had to go and say, well, how does Cecil look like that? But Dr. Simone always tries. And I said, we're not doing that today. We're not doing that today. This reunion will be interesting. And I've already heard some stuff. I know Quad had something for everyone. Or, no, I shouldn't say for everyone, for almost everyone. Quad was in rare form in the reunion, from what I heard, because of this season and the confessionals and all of that. Now, Dr. Simone talks to Quad separately, because each night, the reason why the couples were doing stuff was because Toya and Eugene had the couples go and pitch in and host an event for the night. I said, that is genius. Let them pay. It's like, I'll invite you to the trip. I'll provide the housing and the food. You go and provide the entertainment. I said, that is genius, Toya. That's half the trip. Pre-planned by other people. And paid for. And sponsored by. But, we see that Quad, Dr. Simone wants Quad to know that you don't have to fake it. If you're not feeling cool and happy, don't pretend like you're cool and happy. Quad says she just wants to move on. She just wants to go enjoy herself. She just wants to separate herself from her ex, the situation. They're doing all of that talking. And then we see that a roach, because they're talking about Greg, a roach crawled on Dr. Simone's arm. That thing was huge. That was a cockroach. That thing was huge. I said, oh my God. That looks like one of those that would bite. Anyway. now it's time to come together, because today's event is essentially closing out of everything, and Simone wants to do this thing where everyone takes a shell. First of all, she made it sound like it was another couples therapy thing, and everyone was over it. But then she said, no, we're going to take the shell, and the wives will go and say something that they want to let go, that their husband has either done, or that maybe they had difficulty dealing with in regards to their husband. And so, again, she did it right. She started it off. She said that Tammy, who was the other woman in their relationship, just meaning other woman who was getting more attention and affection than she was. Not, it wasn't sexual, but it was like, okay, I'm having issues with my wife. Let me hang out with my gal pal. She's cool. There's no issues. We're not doing it, so there's no type of relationship there that would go and stress me out. But it stressed out Simone, and it caused the biggest rift in their marriage, aside from everything else. And so she's going to let that go, because before she was still partially hanging on to it. So she's going to leave it there on the island. Dr. Heavenly said, oh, I think I'm just going to, she said something silly about he doesn't fold his clothes or take it out of the laundry when I want him to. Something dumb. And that's when we all looked at her like, and Dr. Simone said, well, Heavenly, we'll skip you for now because I'm not accepting that. You can come up with something else. Heavenly felt a certain way because she said, my relationship's actually good. Well, I don't have anything. He doesn't do anything for me to feel like I have to go and rag on him. No one said rag. No one said rag. Because Toya talked about, she wasn't saying anything negative about her husband. She was saying something negative about herself. She said she has a habit of getting very excited and passionate and loud and rambunctious and sometimes mean, and it transfers over to her husband. So when she's not in a good mood and she's like, ugh, then her husband, who may have just been cool, copacetic, is now, ugh. And she doesn't want that for the relationship. And a lot of times it has something to do with him. It has everything to do with other people. And, with other people. And she has to acknowledge that she's bringing that into a relationship when she doesn't need to. So then Dr. Heavenly, she tries again. She says, you know what? She tries to be very controlling in her relationship. Now everyone said, we don't see your husband just being controlled by you in any fashion. But I'm sure what she meant was she picks at things. And it's like, do this, do that. And he's just probably like, okay, all right, buddy. All right. I'm not going to do that, but all right. Dr. Contessa says that she has an unrealistic expectation from her husband, and it's not even the fact that he's doing things wrong. It's just that if it's not done exactly her way in her time, or things aren't said the way how she wants it to be said, or done, then she has a problem. Then it's an issue. When it's being done, it's being handled, what's the problem? What's the issue? There's no disrespect. It's just she has this expectation of him being perfect. He needs to be perfect. He's not perfect. He's human. I said, that's fair. Mariah, originally, she talked about Aiden losing her Chanel shoes. And then she came up with something different. She talked about, well, she feels like she projects the issues that she has with her family, his family, friends. She goes and puts it back on him. And we know a lot. I'm sure all of us know people that when things are going around in their other relationships, how sometimes they'll rag on the one person who is consistent almost because they know they're not going anywhere. Quad just wants to let go of the hurt and betrayal from her marriage, and she just wants to move on. And so everyone goes and they line up, and all together they throw the shell in the ocean. And it was a really nice ceremony, and then they walked off the beach. And I said, okay, that was nice. Now let's get back to the regular everyday life. The next episode doesn't look like it's going to be too much, which is fine, because this trip was a lot. Thank you. Please like, comment, subscribe. watch my videos from earlier this week. So that's Empire Star, How to Get Away with Murder, my theory videos regarding how to get away with murder for the winter finale. And yeah, thanks. Love and Hip Hop reunion.